Hello dear students, in this video I am continuing with memory organization and we will discuss main memory today. As you know, main memory is the central storage. It is RAM or ROM. So main memory is the memory where the program in execution or the currently running programs must reside. The technology used to construct RAM or ROM is semiconductor IC technology. RAM stands for random access memory and it comes in two types, static RAM and dynamic RAM. Static RAM is made of flip flop, so information each flip flop stores one bit, and as long as the power is on the information remains valid. It is easier to use and the read write cycles are shorter in static RAM. In case of dynamic RAM, the binary information is stored in form of electrical charge. So capacitors are used in dynamic RAM because capacitor charge decays with time. So periodic refreshing cycle is required in dynamic RAM. Dynamic RAM reduces power consumption and they gives larger storage capacity. The main memory can also have some part which is in form of ROM chip. ROM is read-only memory. Like the bootstrap loader can be stored in ROM. When we switch on our computer, it is required that the operating system takes the charge of the computer system. But operating system itself is a software, and when we keep the computer off, it resides on the secondary memory, not on primary memory. So until unless operating system is bought to the primary memory, it will not run. And if OS will not run, then your computer system will not boot. So what happened that a special program is called bootstrap loader is stored in a ROM chip. When you power on your computer, this special program bootstrap loader runs. It searches for the operating system on your storage devices, and a part of OS is bought by bootstrap loader into RAM, and from here the execution of the OS starts. Once the execution of OS starts, the OS takes care of rest of the things. So this is how the ROM chips are sometimes part of your primary memory or main memory. To demonstrate how the main memory chips are interconnected with the CPU lines, we will take an example. Here you see that we want to connect four RAM chip, RAM 1, RAM 2, RAM 3, RAM 4. So each of these RAMs is having size 128 by 8. That means the data length, each word's length is 8 bits. And how many words each RAM this RAM chip is having? 128 words. So we want to interconnect four such RAM chip and one ROM chip with the CPU. See, if we will connect four RAM of having 128 bits and one ROM of having 128 words, each word is having 8 bits. and one ROM having 512 words, and each word is having 8 bits. So here is the chip diagram. This is a RAM where read and write signals are there, and the address bits are 7 bits. Because it is having 128 words, so 128 is equals to 2 to the power 7. So 7 bits of address are required. Because this data length or word length is 8 bit, so the data bus will have 8 bit data bus. CS1 and CS2, these two are chip select. So if CS1 is high and CS2 is low, then only, because CS2 bar, so this chip will be enabled only if CS1 is high and CS2 is low. Here you can see the ROM chip. Because we are saying that ROM chip we are using is of 512 words, and each word is 8 bit long. So 8 bit data bus will be there, and the address length will be of 9 bits, because 512 is equals to 2 to the power 9. So if there are 512 words, the address bit will be of 9 bits. Here also there are two chip select signals, CS1 and CS2 bar. In ROM, you cannot write, and you only can take data read from it. So there is no read write signal. Whenever this chip is enabled and some address is provided, it will provide data. That even read signal is not required, because only one work it do, read. So whenever it is enabled and address is provided, it will give you data. Here we come to map the addresses. What we want to do, we want to make interconnection of four chips of RAM, like this 128 by 8 RAM and one 512 by 8 ROM. So we want to interconnection, so we need to map the address. As you know, the RAM address is of 7 bit, so these 7 bits are kept for the address of a RAM. So RAM 1, RAM 2, RAM 3, RAM 4. So all the 7 bits are only for address of RAM. Then which RAM is selected? So these two bits 8 and 9 will tell you the RAM number. So if you are having 4 RAMs, then you will take, this is 00 for RAM 1, 1001 for RAM 2, 10 for RAM 3, and 11 for RAM 4. So these two bit number 8 and 9, these are used to identify the RAM. And this 10th bit only differentiate between RAM and ROM. So if 10th bit is 0, then we take that there is some RAM is used. Some RAM means RAM 1, 2, 3, or 4. So by bit 8 and 9, we will recognize which RAM, and by these 7 bits of address, we will recognize which word of particular RAM. But if this 10th bit is 1, then this signifies that we are doing the operation with ROM. So when this bit is 1, the remaining 9 bits, 7 bits plus these 2 bits, they can be used as an address of the ROM. So if once the ROM is selected, then 9-bit address we can take to identify a particular word in ROM. So this is how the address is mapped. Now here you come and see the interconnection. These are 4 ROM chip, RAM chips and one ROM chip. So this is some printing mistake. It is like 512 in ROM and 128 by 8 in all the 4 RAMs. So see, here is read and write signal which CPU sends, and here is data bus. So in simplest way, you can connect the data bus with all the chips. So when you want to write, data bus will have the data which is to be written in RAM, and when you want to read, then data will go to the data bus. So this is 8-bit data bus. This read and write signal, they go to all four RAMs, and they are not applied to ROM. So you here you can see this is write, so write, and this is read. So read. So read write signals are connected with read write of RAM chip 1, RAM chip 2, RAM chip 3, RAM chip 4. And this write and read signals are not going anywhere in ROM chip. ROM read operation is done if it is enabled. So it is enabled when CS1 is 1 and CS2 is also 1. So it will, from here it will become 0, and then 0 is inputted to this. So the read signal is used as chip enable for ROM. Write signal is not used. Here bit number 8 and 9 to identify which RAM you want to use. So you use a decoder. 8 and 9 are input to the decoder. So when this is 0, then CS1 this will be high. Then if it is 9 and 8 bits are 0, 0, then this will be high. So RAM 1 is selected. When these are 0, 1, then this line will be high and RAM 2 will be selected. This, if it is 1, 0, then third RAM will be selected, and if it is 1, 1, then fourth RAM will be selected according to CS1 signal. And what about the CS2 signal? So CS2 signal is signal from line number 10. So if bit 10 of address is 0, so it is fed to every all four RAMs. So if it is 0, then CS2 bar will be high. So CS2 bar will be high, and if CS1 is also high, then particular RAM is selected. And here in ROM, the read signal is high, and this 10th bit is 1, then it will be feeding 0 to it. So this CS2 bar signal will be high, so this ROM will be selected. See here, these 8th and 9th bit, they also works as an address only for this ROM. So here the 8 and 9 bit are used to select the RAM through the decoder, but here they are used as an address. So 7 bit, 1 to 7 bit are address bit for fed to all the RAM and also to the ROM, and these two bits are as fed as address to ROM. So this is how the CPU connection to the main memory are made. If the memory is of this kind, made up of 4 chips of RAM 128 by 8 and 1 chip of ROM, that is 512 by 8. Then we have mapped the address, and according to the address map, we have made the interconnections. So this is how the main memory is associated with CPU directly, and what is main memory. In our next video, we will take associative memory and some other memory types in subsequent videos. Thank you very much.